Right? So of course I will do it for free, which is probably also the way I would go if I ever got a job as a male prostitute. So, please welcome the absolutely brilliant comedian, Hasan al-Habib.
Hi everyone, my name is Hasan. I'm the creative director of Imperial Comedy Society. Some of you might have actually seen me perform already, although I appreciate that's unlikely because of course people tend to learn from their mistakes. I've been invited onto Imperials Got Talent for the second year in a row for the same reason, which is to make sure that nobody else finishes last. I'm also a biochemist. Recently a friend came up to me and said, Hasan, how would you describe biochemistry in one word? I said, simple. He said, okay, go on then. I said, no, that's it, simple. That is actually... A shame then that I wasn't talking about biochemistry, the degree, but rather the people that study it. And you might think that's harsh. I disagree. My favorite joke in history, okay, is what's a Muslim's favorite amino acid? I don't know the answer to this. Alanine. Oh my god, if you're laughing hard now, just wait, because let me tell you something, like, you're going to be as shocked as I was when I tell you that literally not a single biochemist has ever laughed at that joke, so I can only presume that they don't know their amino acids. That's the only information. It's really possible to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about race. I was at a house party recently. If there are any biochemists in the audience, I should explain that a house party is when someone throws a party at their house. Just to clarify. I turned up, and I was immediately greeted by these two Spanish girls, very attractive. They were both wearing clothes, which is how I knew this wasn't just another one of my civic dreams. And I walk in, and the first one says to me, "Hola! Are you Italian?" Now, you might be surprised to hear this, but I actually get Italian quite a lot. Usually pizza or pasta, it depends how hungry I'm feeling. And so I said, no, I'm not Italian, but thank you. And she immediately went, ha, 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 ha. Now, of course, as we all know from seeing Spanish people write on Facebook, they don't actually say ha, 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 ha. They say, ja, 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 ja. So what she actually said was, ja, 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 ja. He thinks it's compliment to be called Italian. It's no compliment, senor. It's no compliment at all to be called Italian. At which point, her other Spanish friend decides she'd like to play everybody's favorite house party game, which is, of course, guess the nationality of the ambiguously pale but still ultimately Arab guy, and says, no. He doesn't look Italian. He looks like that waiter from the shisha bar called Abdullah. I think we have a winner. Recently I was invited to India Society's cultural showcase event. It's called East Meets West. And my friend said to me, yes, woo indeed. And my friend said to me, Hasan, please, can you come to India Sock event? It's going to be so good. We're going to have Punjabi MC there. I know you like Punjabi MC, Hasan. I've seen him on your iPod, okay? And I was like, listen, Sangeeta, listen. I'm really, really sorry, Sangeeta, but the problem is, I'm just so busy right now. I've got the Islamic Society AGM coming up. I mean, we're getting really popular right now. You might say we're blowing up. Actually, you wouldn't say that. You obviously would not say that. You see, the reason why I'm so busy is because I'm actually running for president this year, and so I've got to write a speech, and you know how nervous I get when I'm writing speeches, God, I really hope I don't bomb. Obviously I wouldn't bomb! Why would I do that? Not what we do at Islamic Society. And so she goes, oh, that's really cool, man. That's cool. You're for president of the Islamic Society. By the way, how many people are there on the committee? I was like, 9. Yeah, 9. Actually, no, wait a minute. Did I count Ali and Hussein? 11. Yeah, about 9, 11. Or indeed none of those numbers. Because, let's be honest, who's counting? I know I'm not. It's a little bit hot in here, isn't it? Anyway, I said to Sangeeta, yo, Sangeeta, why are you so desperate for me to come to India Stocks event, East Meets West? Because Hasan, if you come to East Meets West, you'll be the closest thing we've ever had to a white person. If it'll make you happy. I've always said that Imperial, with its loads of different cultures, is like a UCL math student. Shocking at integration, very bad. One of the few groups of people on Earth that can make UCL students seem intelligent is, of course, the Republican Party of the United States. I was watching the Republican debate a couple of weeks ago. It was about 3 a.m. on the morning of my first exam, so I was feeling pretty hopeless and depressed even before I started hearing the sound of Donald Trump's voice. And I remember this Hispanic lady asked a question. She said, "Hey, Mr. Trump, Telemundo television agency recently conducted a poll which found that 75% of Hispanic people don't like you. Listen, Telemundo talk a lot of crap. They're rapists, they're bringing in drugs, they're losers. I'm a winner. We're going to start winning. We're going to build a wall, and Telemundo is going to pay for it. And let me tell you something. You ever see someone from Telemundo walking down the street? Punch him in the face. I'll pay your legal bills. I swear I'll pay your legal bills, okay? Hey, well, Mr. Trump, Telemundo television agency also conducted another poll which found that you were by far the most likely candidate to win the Republican nomination. I've always said I got a lot of respect for Telemundo. They're good people, they're winners. I'm a winner. We're going to start winning. We're going to build a wall, and someone other than Telemundo is going to pay for it. Let me tell you something. You ever see someone from Telemundo walking down the street, you dare touch him, I'll sue you for every dime you're worth, okay? Vote Trump, baby. Muchas gracias, Telemundo. I've heard a lot of people from ethnic minorities, not my ethnic minority, other ethnic minorities, that have been complaining about this thing called white privilege. I mean, white privilege does not exist, okay? Let me just make that abundantly clear. And how do I know that? Because white people said so, and I do what I'm told, okay? I'm not about to start disobeying their orders now, let me tell you that. Anyway, recently, a friend of mine texted me saying, Hasan, can you please do a stand-up set about something other than ISIS? Like, it's just getting so boring now, please stop doing it. And I thought to myself, what in the world could possibly be more evil than this sadistic death cult, responsible for the deaths of thousands of people and the suffering of many more? And it took me about 3 seconds before I thought to myself, you know what? I've never done a stand-up set about my ex-girlfriend. Obviously, I have to protect her identity, so what I'll do is I'll pronounce her name backwards. Anyway, Hannah was absolutely horrible. I should explain, by the way, for any biochemists in the audience, the reason that joke works, is if you write it out, Hannah is spelled the same way when turned backwards. That's actually quite successful. We met, Hannah and I, in just the most romantic way possible. It was on Tinder, I'll be honest with you. you might say it was love at first swipe. Ha! No, that's a joke. We actually met doing a play together. When we broke up, I was absolutely devastated. Right? I was really bad for a while. Mainly because she's Scottish, and I'd have loved a free place to stay during the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, but you know what? You don't always get everything you want from life. Okay? That's the lesson to take. She's a little bit weird. She's got this stammer that makes Colin Firth in the King's Speech sound like Eminem. She's also a massive, and I mean massive, socialist, which is quite surprising considering she's only about 5'5". But what that meant was, her idea of a compliment was telling me that I look like Ed Miliband. Ed Miliband! So not even David, the more successful and more handsome one, but Ed fucking Miliband. And let me tell you something, that's pretty rich, coming from a girl that's got teeth like Margaret Thatcher, but that's none of my business. She's also dyslexic. I once made a joke. I was like, yo, Hannah, how many dyslexics are there at Imperial? A quota. For some reason, she didn't laugh. And I was like, yo, Hannah, it's me, Hasan, like Imperial's favorite, best, most successful, even most handsome comedian on campus. Thank you. Thanks. That's not Olivia, or Hannah, I should say. To be fair, when I did say that I was Imperial's most successful comedian on campus, she did start pissing herself. She was laughing at that point, so I guess that was an There was a dyslexic guy at my old school. He got caught having sex not once, not twice, but 3 times in one of the classrooms during lunch break. We used to call him the fucking retard. Back to the subject of women. I mean, women, you can't live without them. And if that were actually true, of course, most of us at Imperial would be dead. I went to an all-boys school, and even there, the ratio was better than Mechenge because at least our teacher was a woman. They say love is like buses. If you stop your journey on one, you can just get on another. And if that's true, I think it's time I topped up my Oyster card, because let me tell you something, I've been riding on no buses recently. No buses whatsoever. What really annoys me is when people say, Hasan, there's plenty more fish in the sea. Plenty more fish in the sea. Well, I guess for that to be true, Imperial must be the coastline around Hiroshima. One of my best memories about my relationship with Hannah was her sister's reaction to me. I mean, their first question, Hannah said to them, listen, I've got this new boyfriend, it's called Hasan. Their first question, I thought, was going to be something like, what's he like? What does he study? Is he really that good in bed? I mean, these were just hypothetical questions I thought might get asked, right? Their first question, I quote, is he ISIS? I really wanted to say, no, I'm not ISIS. My grades at the School of Suicide Bombing weren't good enough, so I had to settle for a place in Al-Qaeda through clearing instead. But I thought that might increase their fears. So I didn't say that. I think they were joking, but when Hannah suggested that we go on holiday together, and I said we should go to Syria, they were slightly taken back. It's a bit of a radical choice, I know, but it's got a great beach. I also met her grandmother, very lovely Irish lady, very sweet. When she met me, her first question was, young man, can you clear something up for me? Are Muslims Catholic or Protestant? You see, the thing is, Muslims, well, we're actually, we're Catholic. Yeah, we're Catholic, very, very devout Catholics. I spent the rest of the evening acting really drunk and covering up sex abuse scandals to convince her I wasn't lying. My favorite My favourite memory of my relationship with Hannah, though, involves spoons. Now, she once texted me saying, Hasan, I wish we were spooning right now. Can I just take a quick poll of the audience, okay? Who here does not know what spooning is? And that includes me. I'll put my hand right up. I did not know what spooning is. Okay? Luckily, for those of you that don't know, I brought two with me. So, spooning is when two people lie on the bed, right? But like spoons, their shapes are kind of complementary and maybe they'll be hugging or something like that, right? So, I didn't know this, okay? I hadn't heard of Urban Dictionary at this point, right? I thought spooning was a kind of extremely painful form of penetrative sex that involved cutlery. That was honestly, I thought one person bends over and the other person, I don't know what they did with this. I don't know what end they used. I didn't know. I thought it was disgusting. Okay? So I texted back being like, you want a spoon? What the fuck is wrong with that? It's disgusting! I thought to myself, oh my god, what kind of a girlfriend have I gotten myself involved with? I never thought I'd scoop so low. So anyway, one day we were at the restaurant, and she was like, I think I'll have the soup. I was like, fuck no! You ain't touching that! No, you're gonna have something you can eat with a knife and a fork. Waiter, can you get her the steak, please? But Hasan, I'm vegetarian! Get her the fucking steak! Oh, honey, don't cry. I'm sure it's halal. I should explain that having a girlfriend in Islam, let's just say, it ain't exactly allowed. So, also haram is the word that's used to describe it. And at my old school, there were this group of guys that we'd call them the haram police. So, for example, if they ever saw you talking to a girl, afterwards they'd go up to you and be like, "Oh, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, fam? That's not allowed. That's not within the principles of Islam. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that, bro. Cut it out." One day, my mom, who is fresh, and by fresh, I of course mean fresh off the boat. My mom refers to all Apple products as the iPhone, regardless of what they may be. If I take out my Mac, oh, that's a nice iPhone you got. I mean, how the fuck can I call someone with this piece of She also thought onesies, remember those? Onesies were called Onesies. Anyway, so my mum sees these text messages on my phone and it's like, Hasan, what are these disgusting spoon-related sex toy fetish messages you've been getting from some contact called girlfriend? Explain yourself, young man. I was like, Mum, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Oh, you want to hear it? Oh, okay. Just give me a second to come up with it. Okay, I've got it. She's a very, very rich doctor whose parents are okay with her converting. And I remember there was like a moment when we just kind of looked at each other in the eyes, me and my mum, smiling, we completely understood each other. And we just put on our favourite song and we started singing and dancing. She gave me money, I ain't saying she a gold digger, I'm a neat, but she ain't messing with no broke. I always forget the next word in that song. It's so weird. Especially around black people. I never understood, like, she ain't messing with no broke, just gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Hasan, you've been brilliant. Thank you so much.
That was Hasan.